Hey guys, it's Hunt for Games, and welcome back for more E3 coverage, this time with the Nintendo Spotlight. Last but not least, certainly not least. Sorry this one is so late. My computer died the other day mid-filming of this, and destroyed all the footage, obviously, that I captured for it, which was unfortunate for a bunch of reasons. But we're sort of like half back up and running. One of the RAM sticks died, so I ripped it out. We've got half RAM going, so it's up, sort of. Anyways, the show must go on. Nintendo. Thank God Nintendo was last because they rocked it. I don't know if you guys saw it or at least looked at some of the, collection of announcements. So I've had a few days to kind of sleep on it. At first, I was sitting there like, oh my God, Nintendo. I love you, Nintendo. You give me so much to live for. But realistically, we've got to look back at what they showed, and really kind of try to look at it a little objectively. And this is the problem with sleeping on is you start to think you're like, well, but they didn't do this, and they didn't do this. As I was watching it, it was amazing. But let's get right into it. So they opened up with mostly things that we already knew. Some cool combo Switch trailer of a bunch of games that we've seen. But they kind of threw in Rocket League on the Switch. And at first I was like, that makes so much sense. Rocket League's on everything and Rocket League's perfect for the Switch. But I don't know if I knew it was coming to that before that moment. And then they officially announced it later during the Nintendo Spotlight thing. So I don't know if that was official yet. So really cool. Rocket League is going to be on the Switch, which is amazing. It's perfect for the Nintendo Switch. Local multiplayer on that is going to be a lot of fun just to like play wherever. And it's a great game that should be enjoyed on any console, especially if you haven't played it before. So excited for that. Then they led into some of the other things that we've heard about, like in that trailer was Splatoon, Pokken Tournament, bunch of games. Cool. It was going on and on. ARMS. So then they open up with Xenoverse Chronicles 2 coming holiday 2017. I knew this was coming, but I hadn't really watched any footage of it. I don't know if this was the first big trailer they've released for it or not. Very JRPG-y in a way that I love. Lots of giant airships, a world tree. There's bubbling like housing structures. Structures is the best way I can think to describe that. Like every building in a good JRPG kind of looks like Howl's Moving Castle, if that makes any sense. Like even just the normal little house is kind of like bubbling outwards somehow. I just love it. Huge open fields, open world, very, very cool. I played a little bit of Xenoverse Chronicles, the first. Oh, sorry, I'm very ill. On the 3DS, the new 3DS. And I want to like the game. I don't love it, but I want to. I think it's a really cool world, and I love to explore it. The gameplay is a little tough for me to kind of grasp on the handheld, but I'm going away for a few days, so I might try to play it a little bit more while I'm away, actually, and really get into it. I do apologize for my voice, though. I really am kind of sick, and it's getting kind of rough. But looks very pretty, very varied areas. I'm excited for that on the Switch. I think it's a great platform for it, so excited to see it. Then, out of nowhere, new Kirby game coming 2018. Side-scrolling, beautiful looking, very stylized Kirby, reminiscent of how they did kind of some of the other Mario and Kirby games from the previous generation. It looks very much that like art style, but it looks awesome. Looks like there's multiple characters kind of running around with Kirby, and one had like a player 1, player 2, so some kind of multiplayer going on. Curious to see how that works, but a cool announcement nonetheless. Pokemon then comes up next, announcing Pokemon Tournament, Pokken, the fighting Pokemon game is coming to the Switch, which is cool. I never played it on the Wii U, so I might pick it up here. It wasn't really a game that I was asking for or wanted. It's funny, like as a kid, I would have loved to have played that game. If you told me that I could be Pikachu and I could fight like Charizard in like a fighting match, that sounds incredible to me. But I don't really want it anymore. I don't know. I might get it. We'll see. Has anybody played it? Does anyone like it, not like it? I'd love to hear what you think. To decide, I still need more games for the Switch. So I got to decide what I do and don't want to get. I haven't bought I Am Setsuna, and I hear that's kind of one of the ones to get. Moving on, they then hit us with, personally, the announcement I've been waiting for years, and the biggest announcement for me of E3. They are working on, through Game Freak, an official RPG core Pokemon title for the Nintendo Switch. We have a console Pokemon RPG coming to the Nintendo Switch. It's happening. I'm so excited. I love Pokemon. I've always loved Pokemon since it first came out. And I've always wanted it to come out a core Pokemon game on a console so I can see all those Pokemon and everything in like beautiful HD graphics. We don't know anything about it. We don't even know if it will be beautiful HD graphics or if it will just be Pokemon Sun and Moon kind of like enhanced, which would be fine. I want to know what it is. So super early on, it was basically them being like, "It's coming," and that's all we know. But still super pumped. So they opened up. They didn't open up. We're done opening. Why do I keep saying that? We're not opening anymore. Then jumped into just like space, zooming out, just a huge 4, and then Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime 4. This one was one of the bigger ones at E3. Everyone was jumping up and down, going nuts. In my mind, I'm assuming. No, we couldn't really see what the audience was doing because it was a Nintendo Spotlight. But the internet immediately exploded saying like, "Oh my god, Metroid Prime 4." I never got into any of the Metroid Prime games, which I was upset about because I heard they were so much fun. But I didn't have the right consoles at the time, and then when I got the consoles later, I didn't get those games. Anyways, I've heard they're amazing. Super excited to see what kind of stuff they can do with the Switch. Again, I think these first-party titles are what the Switch needs to continue rolling along this great sales turn it's got. It's been selling really well, so excited to see that. Then first look at a new Yoshi game, and they had this little thing. It's like there's 2 sides to every story, so he's like little tiny Yoshi running through these like cardboard areas, and then they'd switch the perspective, and it was like 2D, but then it would go to the other side, and you could see his like shadow through the cardboard, and then he'd pop out, and you could see him like in a bare space. It looks really neat. I don't know what the purpose of having the 2 sides is, but exciting. Can't wait to see more of that. I love the Yoshi games. They're kind of goofy fun. I didn't play much of Yoshi's Woolly World, even though it was like the most beautiful game I'd ever seen and just such a unique art style. I just couldn't get super into it, and it almost destroyed Katie and my relationship. We were trying to play that co-op, and she didn't appreciate some of my tactics on how I approach the game. So I'll leave that to her to explain more of that. But moving on, all I have in my notes is I remember they were showing a trailer and all I saw was like Team Ninja. I was like, Team Ninja's doing what? Like, what is Team Ninja doing? Fire Emblem Warriors in 2017 had a lot of other characters from different Fire Emblem games. I haven't gotten super into those, and I only know Marth and like Roy from Super Smash Brothers, but I'm sure people are really excited if you're fans of Fire Emblem, or maybe not. It looks like a kind of a weird crossover, so maybe I don't know if that's normal or not for those games. So let me know. Then some jokes about Skyrim and the Master Sword. He was like holding the Master Sword. Skyrim's coming to the Switch. That was what it was about. And there's the Master Sword, Hyrulean Shield in the game now, which is a mod that's existed for years. And I don't really like that. I don't want to like jump into Skyrim and like have gear from Zelda. That feels weird to me. But Skyrim's coming to Switch. If you didn't know it, it's happening. It's like the 18th time we've found out. Everyone's so tired of Skyrim after the C3. It was just funny because everyone loves Skyrim, but they're like, I don't want to buy it anymore. So then Breath of the Wild. I didn't expect to see any Breath of the Wild. Trial of the Sword. They're kind of going through this trailer. He looks like he showed up naked with no equipment, no gear, and he kind of like gets equipment as he go. He actually picked up a branch again for the first time in who knows how long, and like beat the crap out of this guy with a branch and took his sword. I'm not really sure what it's about, like Hero's Path mode. It's just like a lot of interesting little objectives. I don't know if you just are thrown in this area and it's like you have a timed period where you can beat it, or if it's not timed at all, but you just have no equipment. Looks neat. A different way to approach like the fun aspects of Breath of the Wild, but without all the equipment that you've grown so used to and everything, which is true. Like even the amount that I've played it, I haven't like picked up a branch in forever. Why would I? So that's cool. Excited to see. Looks like it's DLC. I'm not sure how much that's going to cost. Oh wait, never mind. I do know how much that's going to cost. Expansion pass is $20 for both. Masters Trials are available June 30th, so that's coming up. And Champions Ballad available holiday 2017. So let me know what you're thinking about those two. I don't even remember which one Champions Ballad is, or if we saw anything about it. But Hero's Path was something where they like set up a path on the map and you had to like follow it. I'm not really sure. The trailer, I was getting kind of confused with what was going on. Let me know in the comments if you know what that was, and how that works. I'll try to look it up later. My brain's not working super fast right now because of my illness, so that could be the problem. Champions of Breath of the Wild, the 4 champions of the different corners of the land. Amiibos are coming out. They do look pretty cool. I haven't bought Amiibos in a while, but they look pretty neat. They do interact with Breath of the Wild in some way that I already forget, but they did announce that. So that'll be cool. I wonder if they'll be popular. Those characters seem to be pretty popular amongst the general Zelda populace. Moving on, they mentioned a Splatoon Invitational. There's a Pokken Invitational, ARMS competition at E3. So they're trying to get a little esportsy, and I don't know if that's serious or not, and if that's bad or not. If they could do it, I mean, I think one of their best games for esports would be Super Smash Brothers, and I don't even know if they're involved in that esports. They really want Splatoon to be an esport, and I'm not sure it is or not, but still cool. They're talking about the invitationals, and the E3 competition sounded kind of cool. They're bringing in 4 pros. Now, I don't know how we could have pros of ARMS yet because the game's not even out yet. And then 4 people there will be leaderboards at E3 of people that play ARMS. And if you get to the top of those leaderboards, if you're top 4, you get to fight in the tournament against the 4 pros and then the other 3 people that won. So that sounded like a cool competition that obviously I was not involved in because I was at home and not at E3, but still neat. I don't even know, is it still going on? It might already be over. I gotta check. I've been so out of it the past couple of days. I gotta figure it out. But it was cool. It was cool. They're trying to push that a little bit hard though. I wonder if that's too much. Then they show off more of Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which we first saw in the Ubisoft conference. It does look like a cool game, very like XCOM style, but with Mario and the Rabbids. Gameplay looks like a lot of fun. I don't know if gameplay alone is enough to keep me playing with that kind of strategic focus. Maybe though, it does look pretty cool. I think that's coming out kind of soon. It's coming out in like August. They just they announced it. They're like, yeah, it's coming out in like a month and a half. So that's neat. Let me know if you're excited about that. Rocket League officially is announced at this point in the presentation. I really don't remember if it was announced before, but they did also say cross-network play with, I'm assuming, PC, Xbox. I think there was a lot of talk this E3 about how PS4 was not included in this. And PS4 has given their own answer, but it sounds like PS4 is not included in any of the crossplay stuff. So, real quick, PS4, Sony's answer is that they want to have control over the environment, multiplayer environment that anybody's playing in. You know, they've got kids playing on PlayStation. They can control the PlayStation environment, kick people off, not kick people off. They understand who and what is in their environment. If they invite, you know, Switch and Xbox and PC, they no longer have control over that environment. They don't know who anyone's playing with. Realistically, I mean, adding Switch to that, Nintendo would be the most concerned. But it's the internet. You can't protect from the internet 100%. I think this is more of a scapegoat because they just don't want to do it because they want to maintain that core. Like, if you want to play on PlayStation, you have to have a PlayStation. You can't like play with PlayStation people unless you have PlayStation. I think that's what their stance is, and they're acting like it's because they want to. But legally, I mean, yeah, whatever. They're allowed to say that. Anyways, that's not Nintendo though. I just thought I'd bring it up real quick. So then, out of nowhere, there's like a T-Rex on the presentation. I had no idea what this was going to be. I thought it was maybe Monster Hunter, but I was like, that doesn't look like a Monster Hunter T-Rex. And they had like a Mario hat on. I was like, what the hell? So I had no idea, and I don't know. I think this was a reveal. Super Mario Odyssey, which is what this is, has a crazy new feature. Super Mario, he can take the new hat with the eyes and fling it at stuff like a T-Rex, a frog, and he becomes that thing. Sorry. He becomes like the frog for a little while. It's like a little Mario hat frog. And the T-Rex, he did it to a Bullet Bill. It was flying around as a Mario hat Bullet Bill. Even one of those little fireballs that like, you know, hops up and down or is like shot out of a cannon. He was one of those. He was a fish. Little like the tiny fish that like eats the coins underwater and everything. There's a dapper Bowser that looked like he was going to a wedding in the trailer. Tons of outfits for Mario, who's shown wearing all sorts of different stuff. I don't know how they're related to the gameplay or anything, or even if they are. He took over a Chomp Chomp. He was like a Chomp Chomp Mario, a real human being, which gives me a lot of questions about the soul and like what Mario does with it when he enters the body. with this new hat technology. I'm not really sure. I'm kind of concerned now because it's one thing to enter like a rabbit or frog, but to enter a person seems a little controlling. Anyways, coming out October 27th, 2017. That's awesome. This trailer blew me away. It looks super exciting. I can't convey appropriately with my words how cool the trailer was. Go check it out. Definitely makes me excited that I own a Switch. I was a little worried there for a little bit, but a lot of cool games. They announced a ton of cool games coming for the Switch. I'm super pumped. Not all 2017, a lot 2018, and a lot literally just like we're making them. Like Metroid Prime 4, we know nothing. We have nothing. We have Metroid Prime 4. We don't know how far. They could have started it yesterday. We have Pokemon RPG Switch. But again, they announced it via like a guy in a room being like, we're working on it. That's how little they had of that. Super excited for both of those. No idea when they're coming. Still, I think Nintendo made a lot of people really happy. There's also a 3DS version. I think it's Metroid Prime 2, not Metroid Prime 2. Like the original Metroid 2, I forget the name of it. They're remaking it for the 3DS, I think, a 2D side-scroller. So people were thrilled. They're like, oh my god, we're getting a 3D Metroid and a 2D Metroid all at once. This is too much. New Kirby, new Yoshi. Freaking Mario looks like the best Mario in years. Too much. So Nintendo blew it out of the water. They had a ton of great announcements. Some maybe a little earlier than they had to, just to like kind of get things going. Obviously, we had very little details about some of these games, but still, I think they did a great job. They're showing that the Switch is a console to buy. They've got a lot of great games coming for it from Nintendo, not from Nintendo. And I can't wait to see more games to come to it because it's a really cool console and I want to play it more, but I only have 2 games, and if I don't feel like playing those 2 games, I just don't touch it. So, can't wait. Let me know what you guys thought. I think that's it. I realized I skipped Revolver Digital, I think is the name. I did watch their conference. It's amazing. I don't know if I can do it justice or even explain what happened. It's like 15 minutes. Watch it. It's creepy, weird, and awesome. It's all this like weird commentary about AAA gaming right now and how much it's kind of bizarre. Watch it. Nintendo rocked it. Let me know what you thought of Nintendo, of E3 in general. Next week, I might get back and do an E3, so I'll be back Wednesday night super late, so probably not till Thursday. I might do just like an E3 review when everything's calmed down, or not. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. I'll try to get to a news hunt for game news while I'm away on vacation, but I really don't know what the deal is on our schedule and like if I'm gonna get sicker or better or what's going to go on. So keep checking back. Thanks for sticking around for watching this whole thing. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you don't, but tell me why, because I love doing these videos, especially about E3. But I want to make them better, so let me know what you think I can improve upon, and we'll get right at it. I'll keep the Mario game trailer running behind. Maybe. Nintendo will probably copyright the crap out of that, so we'll see. But anyways, thank you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you guys for next E3. That's crazy. Okay, awesome. Cool. See you guys. Peace. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, you should totally think about subscribing. I've got videos coming out twice a week, and if you like this one, there's at least a chance you'll like some of the others that are very similar to this, so live dangerously. Let me know what you guys thought about the video in the comments and other videos you'd like to see. And finally, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Huntin for Games to keep up with all the latest stuff. See ya.